Good morning, everyone. Tiffany Parker of TD Parker Risk Management and Insurance Consulting, coming at you again with a video today. So, the last couple of videos we've talked about risk management, planning tips. We've talked about insurance specific to a particular industry, and I thought it'd be interesting today to kind of bring it full circle and talk about what happens in the event that a claim is filed against a business, and kind of what those outcomes look like so you can put into perspective the reason that these insurance policies are so important. So today, what I did, so a little about me or my background. Some time ago, well, not that long ago, but I was a claim specialist. I worked for a couple different insurance companies as a claim representative, and then I've also worked internally for a large organization as a claim specialist there, helping them navigate through their liability claims. And so, in that role, I handled those matters that went to litigation, meaning that either the claimant is what we would call the person that is filing the claim against someone. The claimant's either represented by an attorney or that attorney has filed suit on behalf of that individual. And so you get to see like how all this plays out should that happen. And one of the things that we would do in preparation, if say a lawsuit was filed against us and we'd gotten to a place where this matter was going to go to trial, we would ask our attorney to do what's called a verdict search. So a verdict search is helpful in that you get to see, like, within your venue, similar, you try to look for cases that are similar as far as the details of the parties involved and then the sort of injuries that are being claimed. Sometimes it's hard, right? No two claims are the same. But sometimes you can kind of find some that have similarities, and it gives you a sense of how this played out in court. And so what I did today was I actually went online and found a verdict search, or did a verdict search, and I found a case that this actually took place 5 years ago, but it's in Hampton Roads, the Hampton Roads area, and so I thought it was really interesting to kind of share how that case played out in court. And so this is involving an apartment complex located in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And the plaintiff in this case is actually a tenant of that apartment complex. And so this case, it concluded in November of 2015, it looks like. However, the actual incident that occurred happened August of 2011. And so if you're curious about things like this, I don't want to disclose the names of the parties involved. I just think that that may be inappropriate, though it is public record. But I would prefer not to disclose that information. But you can definitely do a search. Virginia has a court system that's online. The case information is available online, so it's something you can find it if you really are curious. If you're someone like me that's just nosy. But anywho, so the plaintiff in this case was a 40-year-old dental assistant, and she resided within this apartment complex or multi-tenant unit. And so she was leaving her home, and she was going down a flight of stairs, and she stepped on the fourth step, and within the middle of that step, apparently it broke. It was concrete step that broke. And so because of the break of the step, excuse me, she fell an additional 10 steps, landing at the front door of that particular building. So what ended up happening is that she sought out medical attention at Centera Lee Hospital, and she complained the day of the accident. She sought out the medical attention. She complained of a right foot pain and a tenderness, and swelling. And so she was diagnosed at that time with a non-displaced fracture at the base of the fifth metatarsal. And so she was sent home with crutches and prescribed Vicodin and instructions to ice and elevate the foot. All right. And so I apologize. I'm moving back and forth. I'm kind of reading through some of this as I'm also trying to share it with you. And so it looks like thereafter she sought out medical treatment from a podiatrist. And so that medical treatment, after I guess the podiatrist saw her, there was a diagnosis that she had an extra articular fracture at the base of the fifth metatarsal. And so she was outfitted for a brace and an orthopedic shoe. So it looks like excuse me. So she did have surgery. And she had several months prior to the surgery. No, following the surgery, she had several months of physical therapy. And then she had multiple epidural steroid injections. And so that went on, it looks like, for the next 2 years. And she had a second surgery. She underwent a tendon repair surgery. And then she had to go through physical therapy again for that. So when her medical treatment concluded, I guess they did the best they could to bring her back to, her physical condition prior to the fall. It looks like she complained of ongoing ankle and foot pain, and she was left with a limp and continuing to take pain medication for the pain. So when it was all said and done, she claimed $58,000, a little like almost $59,000 in medical expenses. She claimed that because of this injury, was out of work for 3 months. And so she claimed a loss of wages of $12,000. And her total damages that she sought were $750,000. These numbers may seem, $750,000 may seem astronomical, but it's not far fetched. And something, and the interesting part is that, when you go to trial for matters like this, you're putting a lot in the hands of either a jury or a judge. In this instance, this was a trial that was one day. It was a bench trial, and the outcome was a judgment for $500,000 in the favor of the plaintiff. So, yeah. So, when as business owners, when you are seeking out coverages for your business, you want to ensure that the person that is handling this for you, your agent or your broker, understands the ins and outs of your organization, right? There are nuances to every organization. So the insurance coverages that you obtain should not be cookie cutter. They should be specific to what you do, how you do it, and the ins and outs of your business. So you want to ensure that your broker or an insurance agent understands that. Things like this, because the claim when the lawsuit was filed, her claim was that the landlord failed to properly repair a dangerous defect within the stairs. So these things happen. You can be as diligent as possible in order to ensure the maintenance of your property, but you things fall through the cracks sometimes. You just are not. You can be as diligent as possible, but things still happen, accidents happen. So that's why you have insurance, and that's why you have to ensure that the coverages that you have are for the right amounts. They cover every aspect of your business that can insurably be covered. And when I say insurably be covered, I mean like there are certain risks and exposures that come along with being a business owner that insurance cannot cover, right? But for those aspects that can be covered, we want to make sure that we have the appropriate coverages in place for that. So that's just an example for those business owners that have multi-tenant properties. But that can be an example that can apply to anyone that has a property where you have invitees or you have customers that are frequenting your property day in and day out. So I thought that was pretty interesting. You guys let me know what your thoughts are. Like this video, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let me know if you want to see more stuff like this. I can do some digging and find other cases. And if you want to, and the coverages that would have responded to this sort of claim would have been the general liability coverage. But anywho, excuse me. Again, this is Tiffany Parker of TD Parker Risk Management and Insurance Consulting. If you're in the state of Virginia and you need some help navigating through setting up an insurance program for your business, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is on the website and below. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day.